be more creative in your life? Are there ways of refining or developing this? Stay tuned. The answers are there. First of all, you're starting out with the right kind of brain. Hi, this is GH Clay for Coaching ADD. An ADD brain is a different brain and it thinks differently. And you know that if you have one of those. People with ADD brains tend to not be linear thinkers. Their thinking is not like that line of dominoes that you hit the first one and it comes all the way to the end. People with ADD brains are synthesis thinkers. That's where you take a variety of parts and you can put them together in different ways and do it all in real time. And this is the essence of creativity. I want you to stay tuned to the end because I'm going to tell you a secret that many people have recognized and used to become multimillionaires tapping their creativity. There are many ways you can tap your creativity. One of the best ways is to let your mind purposely wander. I'm going to include a past video about doing just this. It's a way of free form thinking, and it's really, really useful. I came up with some of my best ideas doing this kind of thinking. It may be that you go out in the woods. Interestingly enough, I get some of my best ideas sitting in the shower. I don't know whether it's the water hitting my forehead or what, but boy, I come up with some great ideas. Taking a long shower can put you alone with your thoughts without really anything that you need to do. I'm also an advocate of engaging in what is called deep work and doing it on a regular basis. Deep work is that hyper-focused work where you focus on hard things and you wind up creating work quickly. It is a distraction-free concentration. Shallow work is work you can do with a certain amount of distraction. Deep work is effective for two reasons. First, it helps you avoid distractions and rewires your brain to learn to do hard things faster, so you can get more work done in less time. Eliminating distractions is a core component of deep work, and for good reason. When you switch between tasks like checking your phone while drafting a proposal, a bit of your attention gets stuck in that prior task. So even when you go back to writing, a part of your brain is still thinking about that text message you just saw. This phenomena is called attentional residue, and it takes a serious toll. Research shows that it can take upward of 20 minutes to regain that momentum once you've had an interruption. So if you check your phone twice an hour, that's 2/3 of your focus time lost. It also helps rewire your brain. Deep work is the best way to learn new skills quickly. When you concentrate deeply, your brain cements learning pathways and strengthens the connection between neurons so they can fire faster. It's been said, the neurons that wire together, fire together. This means when you focus intensely on a specific skill, you are literally rewiring your brain to help you perform that skill more effectively. Research suggests that rewiring can only happen when you concentrate on a single task at a time while avoiding distractions. In other words, when you work deeply. Cal Newport, the author of Deep Work, advises a period of deep work lasts 90 minutes. I like the 6 hats method of thinking. And this is potent if you do it as a team or you do it as an individual. What the 6 hats way of thinking does is it moves you to different points of reference. The white hat, the objective thinking hat about facts and logic. The red hat, this is intuitive. It focuses on emotions and instructions. This one is one of the more important hats. People make decisions around an emotional framework. They don't necessarily use logic to make their decisions. The black hat is one of caution. What can go wrong? I think this is always an excellent thinking strategy with any project, because when you think what can go wrong, that lets you anticipate what may indeed go wrong. The green hat. This is creatively coming up with a bunch of ideas, and it runs the gamut from silly to reasonable. If you can't consider the absurd, then you have a hard time sparking the truly brilliant. The blue hat is the hat of control, and it asks, how would we organize this? This puts you into a more linear framework. How this works is it gives you this revolving perspective. It increases your intellectual flexibility and enhances your ability to think in a synthesis manner. Andrew Ng, formerly of Google, believes innovation, it can come in flashes of genius, but it comes more often from being creative in a systematic way. I'm going to ask you a favor. If you liked this video, if you found it useful, give it a thumbs up. And most of all, I want you to share this video with other people. Write in the comments section what you found most useful about this video, and stay tuned because there's more to come. So what do you do if you get frustrated? Daniel Amen, in his book, Images of ADD, shows what happens to our brain in dramatic fashion. We hit a point where things seem hard, and the harder we try, the harder and more elusive the situation seems to be. What happens in our brain is that we get a drop-off in circulation in the frontal and temporal lobes of our brain. The best thing to do is walk away, unplug for a while, let your mind wander, get some head-clearing distraction. Remember, frustration is the enemy of creativity. Another good technique is to collaborate. Spending time with other creative people will spark your own ideas. This also fosters social development and problem-solving skills and critical thinking skills. It is a catalyst to creativity. As promised, we're nearing the end of the video, and I want to set the background for how many people have become multimillionaires because of their creativity. But first, let me tell you about an experiment. There was a pottery school that devised a very different way of making grades. The first group would be graded on one single project done over the entire quarter. That would be their grade. It was either good or it wasn't. The second group was more interesting. Their grade was earned on the amount of poundage of pottery that they produced. The more pottery you made, the better your grade. So what happened at the end of the year when they judged this? Well, it was found that the people who produced more made better pottery. Theirs were more attractive. It was cooler. It was the better pottery of the two different experiments. So one of the things that you can do and should do if you have a creative endeavor is try and do it as much as you can. If you're a writer, write every day. If you're a painter, try and paint every day. There was a man who made a vow to himself that he would take a new photograph every day, and he continued it, and he got better and better as a result. Now I'm going to tell you about a fellow by the name of Ken Gorlick, and he's a saxophone player. Ken practices over 6 hours every day, and he's very accomplished. You might recognize him as one of the best jazz saxophonists today. He goes under the name of Kenny G, and he has a net worth of about $100 million. Let's talk about writer Stephen King. Stephen King had 6 completed novels before his breakthrough, Carrie. He wanted to throw that one away, but his wife fished it out of the trash can. Mr. King writes 10 pages every day. And I refer to him a lot in my coaching of individuals because I think of him as the grindstone. He is like that dripping faucet that you turn around and all of a sudden you find the bucket is full. He has become one of America's most prolific authors, and his net worth about 500 million. Not too bad for a guy who was a high school teacher and, just wrote as a hobby, but he wrote every day. Now, next week, I am going to put out a video with specific exercises you can do to stretch and develop creativity. If this has grabbed your attention, I'll see you next week. If you like this, again, share it, thump that like button, and we'll see you next week.